Hey everybody, welcome back to another fantastic day at Ask the Masters. I was perusing through my favorite magazine, Water Shapes, and I came across Kevin Cobabe, an article on a project that he had done, and so I wanted to get a little insight from. Now Kevin's been building pools for a couple of different decades now. He's been in the industry. He's well known up in the Manhattan Redondo Beach, that South Bay area. Travels around the area. He is also one of the admins in our Facebook page over at Ask the Masters. So if you're in Ask the Masters a lot, it's a great place to get a hold of Kevin. Kevin, welcome back to Ask the Masters. It's the second or third time you've been on the podcast, I think.
Thank you, Randy. Yes, I believe it is second, third time, something like that.
So tell me, I read this article, man. What a friggin' crazy! I mean, you truly are a master. I mean, come on, dude. I mean, you have reached that level to where you're building pools that are just unbelievable. So, how this project looks like it took a few years. I mean, really interesting.
Yeah, it was overall, believe it was about 5 years from the first time I stepped on the job site to by the time we finally filled the pool for the last time. And I say the last time because we filled the pool multiple times during the process too. So, but it was a very long, tedious, arduous project that just had a lot of obstacles to overcome, a lot of issues with geological issues with the hillside that we were building on. It was a lot more massive than we originally anticipated. I mean, we went in there kind of thinking we were going to remodel the existing pool, and it just ended up going way deeper than that. And I really like so much. I think I had to pull from every tool from the bag for this job. To say that just so many different things that we had to overcome. I'm really ecstatic as how it turned out. For
So
sure.
we would invite all of our listeners to go on over to Watershed Magazine. There are some incredible pictures within the article. Make sure at the end of the day that you leave a comment down below at the end of the article. Kevin watches those, and we all watch them. So we'd like to have you guys read the article and then comment. One of the questions I had is, how come this pool you put over 500 cubic yards of concrete underneath it? Why didn't you put it on piles?
Uh, the homeowner was really kind of particular about not wanting to have a drill rig down there for some reason, and not wanting piles, and I think overall, we kind of went through the whole process with her is about which way was less expensive, and truthfully, I think the way we ended up doing it was probably a little bit less expensive. We just had to dig everywhere down to solid rock, bedrock, basically, to create a big concrete pad for us to build on top of. At one corner of the pool, we had to dig a hole 20 feet deep, basically, and fill it back with concrete, and it was a pretty deep hole. I remember looking down on it after it was done. So, yeah, I mean, I think that it was basically her steering us in that direction. It probably would have quickened things up. The job may have not taken as long had we gone that direction, because we may not have had to rebuild the whole hillside below the pool. But in the end, it all everything kind of came out good, and that thing is solid chunk of concrete there in the hillside that is not going anywhere. I guarantee you that. So.
Well, I do know that Palos Verdes Peninsula, there's a lot of seismic activity that happens up there. I know that Trump's golf course out there, that road moves all the time. I mean, you see a lot of movement. So, that's movement like that's not really too good great for an infinite edge pool.
Right, and this pool is up on top of the hill, like directly above Trump Golf Course, and just kind of very close, adjacent to that whole big slide area on the backside of Palos Verdes that it's constantly moving. Um, so that probably played a little bit into the failure of the original pool. That kind of had a crack going through the deep end of it. That it was kind of sliding off the hill, basically, when I showed up there. So Yeah, it's the geologist I use in the area is so well known, and he knows that hillside so well that it's I trust anything that he says for sure.
Well, again, the listeners are going to have to go over and not only are there some pretty pictures, but there is some really good looking Jandy equipment that is located there. That stuff's dope, man. I mean, that's crazy how'd you pull that one off, Slick?
I always take pride in the equipment sets. Equipment sets become to be more important to me than some of the other aspects of the pool for sure. And it was just kind of my upbringing in the whole business where I worked for a guy in the very beginning that he was very particular about things, and he kind of got me in that groove of just always treating my equipment layouts like a piece of art. And so luckily on this project we were able to spread out as much as we could with the equipment. I don't always get that opportunity where people are always trying to cram us into a 4x8 equipment room and tell me I got to put 10 pumps in there, which is impossible. So yeah, it's been a love of mine to create arts of work out of the equipment sets, that's for sure.
So give me a little bit of details on that. What are piping sizes? Tell me what you've got, vanishing edge, number of pumps, things like that.
We have two vanishing edge pumps. One of them is filtered water. Then we have a regular circulation pump. We have two jet pumps in there. So yeah, we got 5 pumps total, 2 filters, and a Jandy high efficiency heater. All spread out in this nice equipment layout. The pool also has a feature that is the whole it's got a pool and spa combination that the water level runs across the top of the spa and the pool at the same level where it spills over the whole perimeter overflow. And then there's a function that shuts off your edge pumps and turns a couple actuators and drains the pool back down 2 inches down into the catch basin so that you can separate the spa from the pool when you want to use the spa. So I was pretty proud of that function too that we created on that. I was very happy with how it all worked out, where you can turn on hit that spa function and the pool starts draining and the spa starts heating. And by the time the pool is drained down to its necessary level, the spa is pretty much up to temperature at like 100 degrees. So
wow, that's pretty complicated stuff going on there. You got a lot of things happening.
yeah.
Put one button and you've got tons of things going. Now that takes some capacity down in the surge tank too. So did you oversize the capacity of the tank?
Yes, my surge tank is about 10 feet deep, and it only runs on normal operating level at about 3 feet deep. So and in order to kind of hide that whole aspect too, is the catch basin has a grate over it that's got river rocks over it, so it really looks like the catch basin is only about 1 foot deep, and the rocks are dry most of the time, other than the water that spills behind them. So it was really neat feature of that, where it's kind of a hidden feature where you don't know where the water's all going, and it's pretty cool.
What a crazy illusion, man. That's epic. Plus that grading system probably makes it safe so somebody didn't fall down in there and not
right. That was definitely one of our concerns in the beginning as well, where you had this 3 foot deep that had a 7 foot fall from the edge if you happened to be over there. So definitely safety factor has been instituted, that it's definitely safe now. So
wow. And then you got a crazy designer that decides she's going to put a big bowling ball on the edge of the pool.
right.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, so that was one of her features, that she was really crazy about, that she really wanted these 3 big boulders on the pool, and it kind of it slightly changed, but really not much from our original designs. We were going back and looking at a lot of their original iterations of the pool design. It always had these three rocks, and we never really kind of thought about the logistics of getting these giant boulders down to this site where we already were like 150 feet away from as close as you could get down there. After the whole shell had been done, originally we had built a temporary road to get down there with all the big machinery and whatnot. But by the time we got to the finished stage, there was really no access for any of this big machinery to come down and set these rocks in place. So we got a crane that got them to the edge of the pool deck, and then we had to wheel them around with pallet jacks, and I had to rent a gantry crane, in order to set these things in place, and it was such a huge production. Really, only 3 of us kind of managed to do all these major installations with these huge boulders, and with the right tools. But it just kind of, we really had to get creative, and I've kind of, what I learned from this whole creative process of installing these giant boulders, I've actually used on a couple of other jobs since, and so it's kind of like I'm becoming a authority on the gantry crane and setting boulders, let's say, so yeah, it was very interesting. And one of the boulders we had to drill, and so we had to use these big tools to roll it over, to drill it, and to drill it in the exact same right spot, because she wanted this little trickle feature of water oozing out of the one boulder. One of the huge rocks has petroglyphs on it, which was a really cool feature. It was just these ancient Indian carvings on this rock that she bought at a stone yard somewhere.
Wow. Wow. Absolutely fabulous. Again, to all your listeners, you're going to have to go over to watershapes.com to see all the pictures of this spectacular project, truly done by a master pool builder, Mr. Kevin Cobabe. Kevin, it's always good to have you here, and I look forward to seeing you over in the Ask the Masters group. If you're in the pool industry and you want access to brilliant pool builders like Kevin, ask to join the group, and Kevin will probably click you right through, I think. So just drop a little note. So Kevin, once again, thanks for being on Ask the Masters.
Thank
Truly
you, Randy.
a master job, mastering the long view.
Thank you.
Talk to you soon.
All right.